What's up, everybody? Yeah, it's more so going on. 10 hours ago, Democrats left stuttering after Jim Jones shock revelation on the border crisis. So let's go ahead and get into this video and as much more. Also, I'm covering the video about the Iran president or dictator got shot and killed, which I'm glad he's dead. Because a lot of people lost a lot because he's one of the people within the 9/11 that planned the 9/11 attacks. And to be honest, when Bush was in office, yes, I'm saying this about a Republican. Shocking. I know. I used to talk a lot of shit about Democrats, but I'm talking shit about this one Republican Bush. I'm not talking about Bush Sr., I'm talking about Bush Jr., the president before Obama got in office. When he went to war with Iraq and Afghanistan, he should have taken out that guy as well. Okay? Then we wouldn't have this problem. But people like Bush, Obama, Joe Biden, Bill Clinton, they was getting paid by him to look the other direction. So let's go ahead and get into the video about the border crossing crisis and everything and enjoy.
Chairman Jordan. Mr. Newman, did the Biden administration improve the immigration system and border security?
I think the stats show no. I mean, we've got a
That whole conversation just took place sounded like a bunch of nonsense to me.
Yeah, same.
Certainly 77 million Americans don't believe what they just heard from Mr. Raskin and the Democrat witness. Ms. Vaughn, did the Biden administration improve the immigration system and border security?
No, the Biden administration dismantled the controls, guardrails, limits, and turned programs into purposes for which they were never
Every
intended.
community on the border knows they did it. Yeah, we just had a 5-minute conversation. Oh, well, things are just wonderful. Joe Biden was the greatest. Mr. Fabricatore, you've been out on the front lines. You've dealt with this. Did the Biden administration improve the immigration system and border security?
No, we have more illegal alien criminals on the street today because of the Biden administration.
Yeah, they're trying to say, don't believe your lying eyes. Of course we know it's gotten worse. Earlier, Mr. Newman, you said the Biden administration invited the crisis. I think you're being nice when you use the word invited. I think they intentionally, deliberately, what's my opening statement, willfully created the crisis. And I want to know, why would they do that? Why would an administration deliberately create the chaos we have seen? Upwards of 10 million people coming in the country. It's interesting, these border communities, that's been the biggest change in voting Democrat to voting Republican has taken place in those communities because they have felt it firsthand. We were in Yuma, Mr. Biggs brought this up, we were in Yuma, Arizona. The cost of the education system, the healthcare system, the public services in those communities, unbelievable. So why would they intentionally? Why would they do this? That's what I've been trying to figure out. Why would an administration say we're going to deliberately create the chaos that 77 million Americans, I think all Americans know, has taken place over the last 4 years?
No fluff today, no filler. Just Jim Jordan doing what he does best, asking the hard questions that nobody else will ask, and getting answers that the mainstream media desperately wants to bury. Let's go. The moment Jim Jordan opened his mouth, every Democrat in that room knew this was not going to go their way.
I can't pretend to know the motive of the administration, but
I'm asking you to hazard a guess as an expert in this area.
looking at what they've done and looking at the policies, what's very clear is that there's been an intentional desire to get as many people into the country as possible and keep them here.
Mrs. Vaughn, can you take a run at that question? Why would they do it? I think all kinds of Americans ask that question. Why would our government do this to our nation?
Because they don't want any limits on immigration, and because no one could stop them.
Mr. Fabricatore.
There was a definite open border agenda at the last 4 years, and that is exactly the way that I see it.
You think there's, again, it hazard a guess at the motivation. What do you think the motivation is?
Well, you know, it's hard to guess at allowing so many illegal aliens to enter into the United States. It's something that when you actually look at it and you look at the numbers, it's unfathomable to even think that many people were allowed. The gotaways, the 2 million gotaways that were allowed in this country, that we have no idea who they are. It's to me, I have no idea why they would allow that to happen.
I don't get it either, particularly when you think about what happens to kids on this journey when they come to the country, what happens to women, terrible things that take. I don't get it, and for them to try to say it was wonderful and it was an improvement, I don't get that either, because nobody believes that. I think earlier the ranking member said the asylum system was overwhelmed during the Biden administration. Why was it overwhelmed? Because they just opened everything up. No wall, no way, remain in Mexico. And when you get here, as you pointed out in your testimony, Mr. Fabricatore, you won't be detained, you'll be released. Now, what do we have to do to fix it? Mr. Fabricatore, a guy who's on the front lines, what do we have to do to fix it?
Number one, we need to make sure that we're giving the money to, especially enforcement removal operations, to go out and detain, arrest, detain, and remove illegal aliens. That's the bottom line of what we have to do. We have to say, this is a situation that we have. We need to put money toward this so that we can be effective.
Once you start repatriating, once you start removing individuals who came here illegally, that's going to send a message. That's going to create
Yes.
an incentive I think in the right way. Because right now all the incentives are the wrong way.
Yes.
No wall, no wait, and you won't be detained. Everyone comes. So you got to change those incentives. That will start to do that.
It absolutely will. Letting the men and women know of ICE, of ERO, that they have your backing and they can go out on the street and actually enforce the immigration law. That's all that they're asking to do. That's what President Trump wants to do.
Yep.
He wants to make sure that we go out and the immigration law is actually enforced.
15 seconds, Mr. Newman. I'll give you the last 15.
Yeah, but it's you have to fund the resources for ICE to get the job done. You have to show to people in this country illegally that you could be caught and you could be sent home.
Well, this committee is committed to helping the administration have the resources to enforce the law and fix the problem. I yield back to the chairman.
He didn't waste a single second. He went straight to the witnesses and asked the question that started everything. In your professional experience, would you describe the southern border as secure? Silence. Then one by one, every single witness answered the same way. No, not close to secure, not improving. No. Jordan followed immediately. And in your experience, has federal leadership acknowledged the scale of what you're dealing with on the ground? Again, no. Just like that, in under 2 minutes, the entire Democrat narrative collapsed, and Jordan was just warming up. Jordan turned to the law enforcement witness and got surgical. How much fentanyl has come through your sector in the last 12 months compared to 5 years ago? The answer was staggering. We are talking about increases measured not in percentages, but in multiples. The witness confirmed that the volume of fentanyl moving through unsecured border areas has overwhelmed their ability to intercept it effectively. Jordan pressed harder. So when we are told the border is being managed, what does that mean to you on the ground? The witness paused and said plainly, "It means we are managing a crisis, not solving one." You could hear the air leave the room. And if this is the kind of raw, unfiltered truth you want more of, hit that subscribe button right now, because this is exactly what we do here every single week. Jordan then turned to the witness who had lost a family member to fentanyl, and his questioning here was measured, respectful, and absolutely devastating in its impact. In your view, was your loss preventable? Yes. Do you believe stronger border enforcement would have made a difference? Yes. Has any federal official reached out to your family since? No. 3 questions. 3 one-word answers. And in those 30 seconds, every policy debate, every political talking point, every spin from Washington dissolved into something painfully real. Democrats had no response. Several wouldn't even make eye contact. By the time Jordan reached his final line of questioning, the witnesses had confirmed every single point he came in with, and he made sure everyone in that room and everyone watching understood exactly what that meant. He looked directly at the panel and said, "So what we have established today is that the border is not secure, that fentanyl is flooding our communities, that American families are paying the price, and that Washington has not responded with the urgency this crisis demands. Is that a fair summary of your testimony?" Every witness nodded. Every single one said yes. Jordan leaned back and let that moment breathe, because he didn't need to say another word. The witnesses said it all. That was 4 minutes of Jim Jordan doing exactly what oversight is supposed to look like: direct, focused, and impossible to ignore. Drop a comment below. What moment hit you hardest? Smash that like button if this video delivered, and subscribe if you